日本時間4月10日、カブスの今永昇太投手が、本拠地でのパイレーツ戦に、今季3試合目の先発登板をしました。この日の今永投手は、6回を無安打、無失点、9奪三振、1四球と圧巻の投球。球数が100球に達し、0対0の試合展開の中で降板となり、今季初勝利はなりませんでした。チームは、今永投手が交代後の7回に2失点し、0対2でカブスは敗戦を喫しました。試合後、カブスの地元スポーツ記者は、翔太にこれ以上何を求めるんだと、今永投手の投球を大絶賛。また、カウンセル監督、捕手を務めたカーソン・ケリー選手も、今永投手について絶賛のコメントをしていました。ここからは、その様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Just a really great performance from Shota Imanaga. Just went out there and completely shoved. He was great.
Yeah, 6 innings, no hits, 9 strikeouts. But it's not just that should really, I think the offense will come around. But what should encourage you about this game, like I rarely would feel good about a 2-0 loss where you couldn't even get an RBI, right? Especially when you had 7 walks. But what should make you feel good, and we had asked the question before the game on a hit that we did for the social media.
Yeah.
What's the key to this game? I said Shota. It's all about pitching right now. Shota against the Nationals in his first start was 5 innings, 4 earned runs. We were like, well, it wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as it looks.
That was a weird one because he struck out the side.
Yeah.
And
he gave up the home run.
But he gave up the home run. And it was a 3-run bomb.
The only home run he's allowed in his 3 starts. That alone is, okay, all right, I see that. Then you look at his last 2 starts. Today, 6 innings. Against Cleveland, 5 innings. He's gone 11 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 13 strikeouts, 2 walks.
What more do you want?
2 walks. The 2 walks are key. Why? Because if he does start giving home runs up, not as many guys on base.
Right.
Shota's been everything you wanted. I argued in the bleachers with one of the fans. Well, I didn't argue. I just discussed. I said, that is the best pitching performance for the Cubs this season. And he's like, well, wait a minute. What about Cabrera? Cabrera was so dominating. I'm like, you can't get more dominating than 6 innings, no hits, 9 strikeouts.
Hands down. That was, I'm a big Cabrera guy, but hands down, that was the best pitching performance that we've seen this entire year. And again, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Shota Imanaga and it's 2 years before this season with the Cubs. For a year and a half of that, he pitched like an ace. So it's in him.
Yeah.
This is it's not like this is like a fluke. It's in him. The second half of last year in the playoffs made us all kind of like tainted a little bit because he was so bad. But there was an injury there. Some people are saying he was tipping his pitches. So ultimately, like what you're seeing today in this season out of Shota Imanaga, pitching like an ace, it's in him. That's not a surprise. I'm glad he's hopefully corrected the problems. He's healthy. Now, listen, he's not going to no-hit everybody the rest of the season, but this ace-like performance is not out of the realm of possibility for him to be throughout the rest of this year. And, man, we need it now more than ever, don't we?
Yeah, I think his ERA dropped below 3. Now, that happens pretty quickly and when you have just 3 starts. But remember, that first start was kind of
the first inning of that first start.
That's right.
Right.
And then since then, it's been pretty clear, right? And then, fastball hitting 93, 94 on the gun today, at least at Wrigley, which is great to see. And the Pirates shuffled around their lineup, right? I mean, they've been having O'Neill Cruz and Ryan O'Hearn at the top of the lineup. They dropped both those guys down the lineup. Shota took advantage of that, pitched really well. There is a larger issue going on a little bit with this pitching staff, in my opinion. And that opinion is, look how many pitches Shota had to throw today as a starter on a Friday this early in the season in April. And by that, I also mean, look, like Craig's got some managing to do in that 5th, 6th, 7th inning of games.
Game of baseball is a hard game, and sometimes it doesn't go your way. But as an offense, I'm just thinking as a whole unit, it's frustrating because you're frustrated at yourselves. You're like, he's pitching, he's shoving. We got to get him something because he's obviously pitching well enough to win a game, and you just want to get something. It's early. I know you're still waiting for guys to get comfortable, but you got to start thinking about manufacturing runs a little bit more instead of just waiting for the big hit.
Absolutely. And at least we saw Shota Imanaga. He was cutting up the Pittsburgh Pirates like a mandolin. 6 innings, 100 pitches, 68 strikes. How tough of a blow is this for a guy who pitched his heart out today?
Yeah, I mean, it's great for the Cubs to see Shota, especially the last couple outings and today in particular, looking the way he looked.
But in the meantime, let's show you who made life brighter today. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. And of course, it was Shota Imanaga. We told you during Cubs Live that this man has the best ERA in the month of April. Of all months, when he really goes out there and shoves, as Kip said, this is the one. 100 pitches, 68 strikes, 13 first pitch strikes of the 19 batters that he faced, and he was really dialed in from the very onset. And part of the reason why the Cubs starters ERA just continues to plummet every single outing. 6 no-hit frames. You see the velo on that four-seamer right where you want to see it. 92 miles an hour, 18 whiffs that led to 9 strikeouts and first pitch strikes, 13 of 19 batters, as we told you. Shota, he feels good about it. He would have loved to have seen a win, but his skipper, he really feels fantastic. Craig, tell us more.
Yeah, Shota pitched very well. Another encouraging start. I think Shota's really had 3 good starts, kind of minus 1 pitch in the first start, and that's great news for us. It's one of those offensive days where you do a lot of things right, and then you walk away and you're just, how did we not score today? How do we have a 0 on the board? And so it's frustrating. We had 8 shots with men in scoring position and went 0 for 8.
We have a outing like Shota's where he does everything right, doesn't walk anybody, still after 6 innings, he's got to go.
Yeah.
That's just the modern game of so many foul balls, so many deep counts.
Yeah, they did a good job with foul balls. They extended a whole bunch of at-bats. But it's kind of like they were able to kind of get the bat on the ball but not square the ball up. That's good pitching. And you can't control that stuff, some of that stuff. It's just what's next. Where do you stop? I think that's that. And then what does it do for his next start? And there's not a path to finish that game. There's danger in making that 120 pitch outing on his 3rd start of the year. Easy decision.
Your first 3 starts of the season, the velocity, the swing and miss, what do you think has really worked well for you to begin this year?
今年の最初の3つの登板に、球速も上がってますし、空振りも増えてますし、自分の中で何が一番、それにつながっていると思いますか？
自分の出したいボールの動きをしっかりと一球一球修正して、試合ごとだったり一球一球できているのが一番実感してます。
I feel like after every pitch, analyzing what the shape of the pitch I just threw was and what the ideal shape is, making those adjustments pitch by pitch, I think that has helped a lot.
Arguably, you could say this was your best game as a Cub pitcher. Is there anything you could do even better? I mean, how can you pitch better than that? You can't control foul balls, I understand.
多分カブズのキャリアの中で今回の登板が一番良かったとも言えると思いますけど、これよりいい登板をするっていうのは可能ですか？それともやはりファーボールとかは自分のコントロールでできないんで、それについてどう思います？
そうですね。今日に関しては、自分の、前の試合からの反省でもう少し、自分の持ち球をよく見せるにはどうすればいいかっていうのを考えて投げてましたし、それを継続することが大事なんで、そうしていけばもっともっといい投球ができるんじゃないかと思います。
I think for this start, regarding this start, I've reflected on my last start and how can I use my best pitches and show them my best pitches and use them effectively. And I think being consistent with that, I think it can lead to good starts.
Following up on that question, Shota, do you regard today's start as your best start since you became a Cub?
カブズの一員になってから、今日の登板が、自分の中で一番良かった登板と思いますか？
過去の登板はちょっと記憶がない登板も何試合かあるんで、特別今日が 一番キャリアで良かったかって言われたらそうとは言い切れないと思います。
At the moment, I can't recall every single start that I've made, but I think thinking back, I can't say for certain that today was the best start.
2 years ago, you threw a combined no-hitter against the Pirates. Did that cross your mind at all today? And were you understanding the council removing you at that point in the game?
2年前パイレーツ戦で、コンバインノーヒットを投げましたけど、それはまず前の横切りましたっていうのと、カウンセル監督が、あの状況でピッチャーを変えたっていうことには賛成しています。
まだシーズン始まって3試合目ですし、僕も今日球数を使っていたので、もう少し、7回とか、100球投げるなら7回とかいかなければいけなかったと思いますけど、とにかくゼロで抑えることが大事だったので、特に交代には何の、反対することもないですし、自分自身がもっとあと1イニング、2イニングいけたらよかったなと思ってます。
I think looking back today, I think being at 100 pitches in the 6th inning, I think, reflecting back, if I could have made, better pitches, I felt like as a starting pitcher, it's the 3rd start of the year. Maybe I could have gone to the 7th, but regarding council's decision, I agree with him. It's early, and being at that many pitches in that inning, I think that was the right decision.
Did you think at all about that last no-hitter against the same team?
パイレーツとまた同じチームとノーヒットノーランということを考えていました。
いや、それは全く頭になかったです。
Yeah, that wasn't in my head at all.
Has stood out to you about Shota's start to this season?
He's made some adjustments over the offseason. I think he's throwing the ball really well. He's got good command of all of his pitches, and today was another outing of that. So, a great start by Shota. Unfortunate we didn't get the win.
As far as the adjustments are concerned, what stands out as to why he's having success?
I think it's very, very, very small adjustments. Placement on the mound, maybe some pitch grips. All in all, I think he's from spring training to now. He's just continuing to get better.
It seemed like at the end of last season, location was an issue for him. Does that seem like it's been resolved now?
Yeah, I think he's cleaned up some things. Tempo and position on the mound. Like I said, they're just little minor adjustments that can make big changes, and I think that's something that he's done.
As far as the modern hitter goes, where they can hang in with foul balls and being on pitches, is it even more difficult than ever for someone like him or anybody to throw no hitter pitch count wise?
Yeah, I think he's with the fastball and the split, and he's got all different pitches, and then he executes them. So all in all, great start by him.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。